What's up, guys? I'm Jimmy Hammond, Jimmy Chills, Jimmy, whatever you want to call me. Just want to get something going. I got a lot on my mind, you know. I had went to something that was called a sacred circle, and it was very intense, very intense. I had only been to one. My friend had actually referred me to it, and you actually go there and you do some medicines and you do, you know, Changa, DMT. For those of you who don't know what DMT is, it stands for dimethyltryptamine. It is something that is already inside you. It is a living organism. It is naturally extracted from anything basically living. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but when you do these drugs, psychedelic drugs, people don't really want to believe that you go to the realms, you know, your pineal gland, you know, it really opens, and it's really hard for like people to let that sink down into them, you know, to let that sink deep. Basically what had happened for me, okay, check it out, it's a sacred circle, you have a host, and my host was actually really cool. He taught me a lot, actually, still teaching me a lot. I hit him up, you know, here and there about some things, and he'll always give me, you know, tips. And alright, check it out. I wasn't familiar with it at all. I mean, I was familiar with it, but I've never done it in my entire life. I've never done DMT once. I've never done it. And so we're preparing, we were meditating. He teaches bhakti yoga, and it was very just enlightening and a very crazy process, really intense process. But I hit the DMT and I went down. I remember going down, and you know, nothing was happening for me. I watched everyone else do it, and they were all going down. And I was with my best friend and my girlfriend, and my best friend Jacob and my girlfriend Jackie. I opened my eyes. Not even sure if you're supposed to do that or not, but I wasn't surrendering, is what they called it. And I saw my buddy Jacob. I looked at him into the distance, and he completely changed. He started going from bubble form. Before I get into that, I went to another realm, like a completely different realm. These are realms other people talk about, not just me. And I'm not the only one who's had these trips and go to this same place where these, you know, these deities and gods and other places are. I'm not the only one, you know. I'm not the only one that sees what I see or what I've seen, and there's a reason why these things are in ancient history times, and why people wrote what they wrote on walls, and why there are books for people to read. And it's not nonsense. It's expressing the soul, and it's finding the soul, and it's all good, and it's to become a better person, honestly. Okay, check it. My buddy Jacob, alright, he went into a really gnarly bubble form, just bubble. As soon as I looked in his direction of where he was in a meditating form. And he basically was just sending the most gnarly waves. Like, I don't even know if he was doing this. I know when other people went down and under, we would send them energy waves with our hands out like this, and I completely believe it. I completely believe there's something to do with our palms and energy, you know, definitely. But my buddy Jacob, he had started bubbling into the form of Siddhartha. For those of you who don't know who Siddhartha is the Buddha, who the Buddha is based off of. That's who he had started turning into. I don't know what that symbolizes. It could symbolize, you know, who he is and who he's meant to me in my life. He's a very good friend of mine. I've known him since, you know, the 3rd grade. Grew up 3 or 4 houses away from each other, you know. He's my best friend. You know, I'm not too sure what it could symbolize. It probably symbolizes a lot, but I just know he turned into Buddha, Siddhartha for sure. I saw it with my own eyes. But that was my first trip, and then I didn't completely feel like I had surrendered, surrendered to the trip. So I had thought for some reason I heard something about serotonin. I don't know if it's serotonin is even the word, or something else about I wouldn't be able to trip a second time if I had hit the DMT a second time, but I was asked to hit it a second time if I felt like I didn't surrender. And I felt like I didn't surrender, so I had hit it a second time, and I completely went under. I threw up. I had seen cosmic serpents everywhere around me, and I'll never forget the feeling of hyperventilating. I was sweating, and I was overheating. I had for sure purged, and I recommend anyone to do DMT. I purged myself. I feel great. Okay, check it. So I hit the DMT a second time because I felt like I didn't break through and I didn't surrender. But what happened the second time is I had seen so many rainbow snakes, like so many like cosmic serpent snakes just going through, literally going crazy around me, like over my body, like squeezing the life out of me, squeezing me, like I mean squeezing me. I'll never forget like the feeling. I was heating up, and I started throwing up, and I had no idea what this meant. None of it meant, and I guess it had meant purging, and that's what a lot of the shamans do. In and the shamans, they purge, and there's stories about the cosmic serpent, and I kid you not, is not a joke. Like I really was being squeezed the life out of me while being guided by this woman. She knew what to say. She had started to honestly form into a deity. I'll get into that, into another video of who that deity was, but it basically just told me everything was gonna be okay while these holographic cosmic serpents were squeezing the life out of me, and they had called it what it is called, purging. I was purging. I was getting all this negativity and things before just completely out of me, and everyone around the circle who's experienced had started talking to me and telling me I had purged, and I felt brand new. I felt brand new after this circle, and it was amazing. And it's not the beginning of my spiritual path, but it's definitely the huge awakening to my path, because it's not the first time I've experimented with psychedelics. I've done LSD, done mushrooms. It is what it is, and this is what my conscious and my has led me to, and it's awesome. I feel good spreading it. I feel like everyone should do it. It should be mandatory. It literally, this world would be a better place. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, not everyone's mentally prepared for DMT or changa, ayahuasca, but definitely helps. And yeah, it could even be keys to success for some people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways to use it. It's keys to success, spreading light, finding the good in everything, finding a reason to spread good in everything. It's a wonderful enlightenment, and that's the reason why I wear this pendant around my neck to this day. It's Lord Shiva. It's a Hindu deity. He's the destroyer of the universe, the ultimate yogi. I have a lot to learn about that deity and what he is about, but I do know what I know, and I feel what I know is a lot, and I do have a lot more to learn, and I always encourage others to tell me, teach me as I can teach you. Learn from others as you teach others. It's always spreading everything, mutual respect, always give what you express what you want to express. The soul needs to be expressed. I'm a soul that needs to be expressed. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And I don't know, if you want to see more videos from me, let me know. Comment, subscribe, let me know what's up. Buddha.